This episode got recorded a while ago.
Addie's boyfriend could not give her a ride back, so she texted. I was like asleep for the last I got back at like 4. I was asleep from like 4 to 6. She texted me. She's like, "Can you give me a ride in exchange for McDonald's?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So I got me some McDonald's.
That's so fucking funny.
And with that, welcome to the
19th
episode of Mom Said It's My Turn on the podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
Yo. And I'm Victor.
And this is episode
19.
What happens when you...
19.
Nothing, really.
It depends, really. I mean, if you're a girl and you're like really into the indie scene, that's when you start getting with your first lead guitarist.
That's true. Yeah. The podcast is now able for Scott Pilgrim to be like, "Hey, what's good, baby girl? Hey, what you trying to do? You trying to hold hands?"
So Scott Pilgrim's a really good movie, but people sometimes there's people that just like for the life of them can't make a deal with the media literacy devil, and just like simply don't understand that Scott Pilgrim is a movie about shitty people being shitty.
It's me. I'm people. I'm Scott Pilgrim. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Don't. That was a bit. Yeah, no, I like Scott Pilgrim as a movie, but like anytime I say that to people, I always have to follow it up with, "I don't hate women." Like I don't hate women. Scott Pilgrim is a movie about a terrible guy realizing that he's terrible and growing a backbone. Yeah,
and that's how literally how the movie resolves.
The joke of the movie is like the evil version of Scott Pilgrim is a really nice guy. You know, it doesn't get much more clear than that.
Yeah, like evil Scott is just like, you know, Scott has to defeat all the evil exes, right? And it's all a big battle, fist fights, and then evil Scott is just like, "Well, we just had a really nice talk. He's a really nice dude.
Yeah, we had a really nice talk. He's a nice guy, yeah." It doesn't get much more clear than that. It's like I was watching Princess Mononoke last night. I've never watched that movie. It's been on the list for a while.
It's a really good movie.
It was really good, but like the person I was watching it with, it's like their favorite movie. And so like I just keep looking over at them.
Out of all the Ghibli library, that's their favorite movie?
I was fucking with it, honestly.
Yeah, but like I fucks with Princess Mononoke, but it's not better than Howl's Moving Castle.
I haven't seen Howl's yet. I haven't seen it yet.
It's not better than Spirited Away.
I've only seen... I didn't like Spirited Away that much, honestly. I thought it was kind of boring. I really didn't like it that much. I didn't like it that much. I didn't like it that much. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't fuck with it that much. I was fucking with Princess Mononoke, but like it was this person's favorite movie. And so like we're watching it and like there's parts where like the town is called Iron Town and they're like, "We need to cut down the forest." I'm like, I wonder what this movie's about. Like I wonder what this movie's trying to tell me. You know?
Yeah. I just think that maybe stuff like that gets lost in translation because maybe in Japanese it was a really funny pun. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's deliberately like obvious. And then like the main dude Ashitaka, he's like, "I want Iron Town and the forest to live in harmony." And it's like, I wonder what this movie is about. You know? Like, you know, there's some people with like terrible media literacy skills who walked out of that movie not getting it. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's some people who walked out of that and went, "That was dumb."
You know what's my favorite flavor of Ghibli movies?
Sure.
Sugarcoating Japanese involvement in World War II movies.
Grave of the Fireflies?
No. The Wind Rises.
I haven't seen it.
It's a movie about the guy that develops the Japanese heroes, the planes.
Yeah.
And so there's this like mentor figure in the movie, and guess where he's from?
Where?
Germany. And there's scenes in the movie about like German-Japanese cooperation.
Yeah.
There's no you know eagles and
yeah.
sticky.
Yeah.
You know
no,
what
I get you.
But like it's implied. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like one of my favorite things is in Full Metal Alchemist. In both of them, but it gets leaned into a lot more heavily in like the 2003 one, where they're just like, yeah, this is like German, like military government. And they just kind of use it as like that. And there's some people who are like, "Wow, so cool." It's like, no. Like the dude's literally called the Führer. Like he is literally the Führer.
I wonder what the big twist of the show is gonna be.
Like oh god, you just get so many chuds. You just get so many chuds with that kind of shit. Anything that's like German, like military-esque, pulls so many chuds. Like Warhammer gets it a lot. People do like Black and Red Space Marines.
It's a problem.
Yep.
It's a big problem.
What, bro? I just want historically accurate Space Marines, bro. I just want them to like look like the Germans during World War II.
It's supposed to be satire. It's supposed to be satire.
Yeah, the Space Marines are making fun of that shit. Yeah.
It's that, oh my god, the humans just became this like gigantic xenophobic empire. It's a joke. It's like
that's the bit.
No one in that universe is good people, but again, people that just for the life of them can't make a deal with the media literacy, they will go
that's the bit.
Okay, so I like playing the Black Templars because they hate all the Xeno stuff. When like in reality, like the Black Templars would kill you because like you're barely a human.
Yeah, like oh god, those people just like. It's not even the media, like, it is media illiteracy. It's also, like, they're looking so hard for things to, like, latch onto, they don't realize they're the ones getting made fun of.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, they don't know they're getting made fun of with that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's funny, though. It's really funny. Because they've been banning that shit. Like
as they should
for a while,
honestly, as they should.
For a while now, you couldn't ban them at like public
tournaments,
Games
Workshop
tournaments.
Yeah,
because it was like this whole like freedom of speech bullshit and all that kind of stuff. But they started banning them at like private events. Oh my headphones just died. At private events and shit. And yeah,
it's like. It's just weird. Always weirdos. Because it's like, to put it as politely as I can, my brother in Christ, you are scaring the hose.
And this is the same people that complain about not getting the hose. Like,
absolutely.
It's
like the Venn diagram is a circle, like people who complain about not getting hose and then like incels, it's a circle, like it's a circle.
Yeah, and then you go and ask them like, oh, what are your you have a Warhammer collection? Yeah, this is like my custom Warhammer Legion, and they're like German and they're like super xenophobic. Okay,
you are scaring the hose.
Like this is why I really love like a bunch of like nerd AJs. Like I love a lot of nerdy shit, but then you see the communities for that stuff, and I'm just like. Oh
yeah, no, like I feel like there's a difference between like not getting hose and complaining about not getting hose. Like I feel like there's a difference.
Yeah, kind of.
I feel like there's a difference. Like if you are the one complaining that you do not pull any bitches or talk to females, that's usually a you problem.
There's an issue there.
Please grow and change as a person. Like, I don't know. I know people like that. I'm friends with some people like that. Like, not friends, but like I talk to people like that. It's like, well, like what do you want to happen here? Like, you don't do anything productive. You play video games all day. You barely take care of yourself. Like, take a shower, go to the gym.
You don't even play video. We've talked about this before, but you don't even play video games in like a productive sense.
Yeah, like you're playing like a shooter. You're playing like COD or like Madden. Like
if you were out there in FaZe Clan winning multi-million-dollar tournaments or at least competing in them, I'll be like, all right.
Or it's they're like, oh, I'm gonna start streaming. It's like, bro, you like, what jokes do you have? You're gonna just be like. You're gonna have a gamer moment on stream, You're gonna be the next Wings of Redemption or like Boogie like 356 or whatever. Those are like completely different ends of the spectrum. Oh god, but like it's like like go take a shower, go get a haircut. Your hair's greasy as shit. Go take
make
a shower.
Deal with the grass devil.
Go literally like go start doing something. Like like. I don't know. go do something that's not a completely like male dominated hobby. Like you're like, oh, there's like I do things. There's no hoes. Yeah, you're fucking going to Friday Night Magic, dude. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Like what do you want to happen here? Like, you're playing Friday Night Magic. You know, do you want me to tell you the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same fucking thing over and over and over again and expecting different results.
Like this is something I've realized in my experience, because I've been trying to get my SO into nerdy shit.
Yeah,
and it's impossible. Like it's some stuff that's just not for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when I was going out with my ex, like my ex was like a normie. And so, like, you know, you have to find the line of, like, trying to, like, explain and introduce what you do so they have, like, an idea of what you do without, like, again, scaring the hoes, you know?
The one thing I like about like, my SO is that, like, she's a normie, but she's, like, not normie enough to not know the stuff on the surface level. Because picture my surprise this is back when the whole going to jail arc of Christian Weston Chandler was going on.
Yeah.
And I was watching update videos on that, and then she goes, "Oh, are you watching a Christian video?" And I'm like, "You know who Christian is?"
Yeah, no, I remember when that happened, because I remember when he got arrested, or they got arrested. Let's just go with they for this. You know, I don't feel like touching this with a poll, because we want to be woke. We're woke here at Momscast. The W in Momscast stands for woke.
Chandler or Christine Weston Chandler.
The W in let's just go with Christian and they. Let's draw that line there.
Now you might be wondering why the fellas don't want to touch this topic with a poll. That reason is very long and requires several hours worth of Christian lore to see why the fellas have the thoughts that they have regarding this topic. If you want to do your own research, we recommend Gino Samuel's 73-part, almost 40-hour documentary about Christine Weston Chandler. Momscast's official stance is that we respect people of all gender identities and walks of life. If you want to be a bigot, please stop listening to our podcast and go somewhere else, preferably one of the 9 levels of hell. Back to the episode.
Yeah.
I remember when Chris Chan got arrested. I went to the beach. I took my first vacation I've taken in fucking years. I had a week and a half off at FedEx from just like my week off, and then had some sick time because I was quitting soon to go to Colorado. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go to the fucking beach with my friends. We drove down to Ocean City, Maryland. And as we're going up to the hotel and like bringing our bags up, I opened Twitter on my phone. And the trending
Christian
topic,
did what?
Yeah, the top trends are all like searches for like Christian did what, they did what. And so I'm like, what happened? You know, because like, you know, Chris Chan is like a relatively niche internet topic. And so, you know, you do a little digging, and then you find, oh, Chris Chan had sex with their mom. And it's like, I don't know what to do with this information, but I need to share this information with the other people around me. And the other people around me are like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, oh, Christian had sex with their mom. I'm like, who the fuck's Christian? I'm like, I don't have time to explain this right now. I don't have time to get into this.
There's a 70-part hour-long episode documentary series on just Christian. If you're interested in that shit.
My favorite thing is when people miss the forest for the trees with Chris Chan stuff, and people decide to focus on the misgendering stuff. And it's like, there's like the really good reaction image where it's like, you know, okay, obviously I'm going to break the rule we set up earlier. It's like Chris Chan had sex with his mom, and then like someone corrects, it's like they. And it's like Chris Chan had sex with their mom. Like, you're missing the forest for the trees at a certain point. Like, yes, we need to respect identities. I'm going to be the first person to be like, all on that. Like, just because people do shit that you don't agree with, you still got to go with that. You know, the W in Momscast stands for woke. You know, you flip the M in Momscast around, the W stands for woke. You have it set to M for Momscast when it should be set to W for woke. I know this comes off as a bit. We're actually like pretty good with this stuff.
Yeah, if it's too much work for you, just call people dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like honestly, I call people I date, bro. Like, I will literally be like, bro, look at this. Because it's just part of my vernacular. It's part of my vernacular. But like people miss the forest
vernacular.
People miss the forest for the trees with that kind of stuff. Because it's like, yes, we should be trying to do this, but also, if you're not caught up on the lore,
yeah,
because after that happened, there was like a whole influx of like white knights, and it was like, why are you white knighting for the mom fucker? You know, why are you white knighting? And then there was the Bella Janky stuff. Yeah, that stuff happened. I think that stuff happened. And you know, I'm gonna like again, the white knighting after this shit happened. Like
Momscast heads. If we get big enough, we're having Gino Samuel on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but like at a certain point, people are like, why are people like obsessing over Chris Chan? This is weird. It's like, you weren't there for it. You know, you weren't there for it. It's not like Chris Chan is this innocent bystander in all of this. It's not like the internet found some random person on the street and was like, we're going to obsess over you for 20, 30 years at this point. Like, 20 years.
It happened out of like...
There were so many times where Chris Chan could have just walked away and it all would have stopped.
Did they have the mind to do it? Maybe.
At a certain point, it's partially like their fault. You know?
I just think...
Just log off. You know?
Just log off. If you...
They like the attention. That's what people fail to realize. They like the attention.
However, I am a bit sad that they just like sealed every like case on Christian, because they were the most documented person in history.
Yes.
Which is... That's an amazing feat.
That's kind of scary. Yeah, it's kind of scary,
like,
but also
as fucked up as it is, you know, the most documented person in history.
Yeah.
And now there's no documentation of them for the past 6 months, a year.
They're in jail.
They sealed up a bunch of their accounts.
I want to explain why we keep flip-flopping on this. Because it's a part of the lore that, like, I feel like is important, because there's like a legitimate argument both ways for it. Like, there's obviously you should respect what people want to be called, but then there's also there's a real possibility that this is to get with lesbians.
Yeah,
there's a real argument for that.
I just disconnected from Christian stuff around the time that Christine started popping up.
I was never that into it, honestly. I'm like a casual observer of this. I think Christorians are weirdos. People who like avidly follow like weekly updates, like the people who do weekly updates, that's weirdo behavior. If you just check in on it like once in 6 months, every couple months, not weirdo behavior. If you're one of those people who watches the weekly updates, that's kind of weird. Or no, not if you watch it. That's less weird.
You make it.
If you make the weekly updates, you're a weirdo, you know?
Yeah.
Go outside, touch grass.
I'm just saying, it's crazy. It's
But like trying to explain that to other people, it's like, I don't even know where to begin with that.
Like, most intro to Chris videos are like an hour long. And then the fully in-depth Chris show has more episodes than most Netflix original shows.
Yep, it's something.
They all last an hour, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I stopped watching around episode 60.
I watched them to fall asleep because I'm just not that interested. I think early Chris, like peak Chris Chan
early
is
Chris
peak Chris
is the most interesting.
Peak Chris is Liquid Chris. Like peak Chris Chan is Liquid Chris.
Yeah, peak Christian is Liquid Chris. It's just like Chris just gets boring after a point.
Yeah, well, it's the same shit. People are just like, how could I fuck with Chris Chan? It's like, you know, you're not doing it better than Liquid Chris. Like, why are you trying?
I think after the whole Blue Spike thing, that's when people just were like,
that's the Julie thing, right?
I think.
Yeah, that is Blue Spike is the because that's the video with the blow up doll.
Yeah,
that's where that's when it gets taken too far the first time. And then like you get to like the idea guys, and that's like when we're like there should be like criminal charges for these people.
Yeah.
Like that's
the idea
for
guy
context
was.
here, because we're talking a lot about some stuff that you've probably never heard of. I'm gonna make a guess that a good portion of our audience are normies. There's nothing wrong with being a normie. You know, it's okay to be a normie. You don't want to know the stuff we're about to tell you. So skip ahead to the mid-roll if you don't want to listen to this, because we're probably talking about this to the mid-roll. So Blue Spike was a troll of Christians that pretended to be a girl named Julie.
He was a kid,
it was a child, like a literal child, like I think 13 or 14 or 15, like one of those.
By this time, Chris was like 22, right?
By this time, Chris is 22. Blue Spike is LARPing as a girl named Julie, who would have been like 18 to 21, boyfriend-free girl. Y'all know the drill with Chris Chan. And so several things happened. Was Blue Spike the one where he made Chris send the Sonic Shoe medallion and then it got smashed, or was that a different troll?
I think that's a different troll. Blue Spike was the one that made Chris do something else with the Sonic Shoe medallion.
So what happened was the culmination of this was Blue Spike made Chris Chan have relations with a blow-up doll, which is like, yikes.
Granted, Chris already owned the blow-up doll.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. We're not gonna like describe the video. You can guess what happens with a blow-up doll. And then
he also makes Chris use his Sonic Shoe medallion to go somewhere that things generally come out of.
It should. Yeah. It went where no Sonic Shoe medallion has gone before, or should have gone before.
It went where many men dreamed their girlfriend's take.
So like let's get two things out of the way. One, Blue Spike, weird kid, probably needed to go to a psychologist. And then, also we have the Chris side of this, which was, this has happened several times beforehand. This has happened several times before. Yeah. Not to this severity. This was the most severe it got, and a lot of people were like, this is weird, this is too far.
Yeah, there were a bunch of people it was a whole call, but Chris could only hear like Blue Spike. Yeah. And then like a bunch of other people had to step in and be like, dude, not cool.
Yeah. So that happens, and after the video gets made and sent to Julie, air quotes, Julie calls Chris on the phone, and that's when Blue Spike is like, I'm a child. And that was that.
You're going to jail. Julie's not real. Stuff like that.
If that happens, like is the person still like responsible for that, or is that like on the kid?
Well, I don't know exactly, because this was the kid like clearly asking for stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like when it's like clearly the minor as the offending party here, like at what point do we go like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I would say like, at this point, it's on the minor. You know what I mean?
At that point, yeah. But anyway, so the other troll we were talking about was this guy, Liquid Chris. So Liquid Chris had been watching the Chris Chan stuff for a little bit, and he decided that the best course of action was to pretend to be the real Christian Weston Chandler, and that the Chris Chan people had been watching for years at this point was an imposter named Ian Brandon Anderson. And the joke was that Liquid Chris was everything Chris was not. Chris was awkward and could not talk to girls. Liquid Chris, I believe, had a girlfriend, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, the guy, yeah.
Liquid Chris had a girlfriend.
So it all culminates on a talent show, or a music battle.
Hold on. We're skipping ahead. So, Chris posted videos where they were just like tapping like along with like a Guitar Hero guitar or whatever. And so Liquid Chris recorded a cover of I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys and called it I Want a Girlfriend. No, yeah. What's the cover? Is it Virgin with Rage or is it I Want a Girlfriend? Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin.
No, that's Virgin with Rage.
Tell me why I can't find a cute girl my age. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I have a boyfriend. But
So
like,
this was a big Christian thing where like his requirements for you to be his girlfriend was.
We gotta be woke, Victor. We gotta be woke.
Okay, you know what? I am gonna take the Geno Samuel approach where I'm gonna be referring to Chris as him. Everything before, if I'm talking to the time period before they transition, and then her after they transition. That's gonna be what I'm doing for the rest of the
compromise.
Episode. Yeah, he had set requirements for like if he was ever gonna date a girl, she had to be 18 to 21 years old.
Yep. Boyfriend free girl.
She had to be a boyfriend free girl. She had to be a good Christian girl. She had to be white.
Oh yeah. This was called the Love Quest. This was the Love Quest.
And a bunch of other like requirements.
Signs were hung up on a community college campus about this.
And that's how he got banned from it.
Yeah.
Well, no, he got his associates.
Chris has their associate's degree from the community college? Interesting. I didn't know that.
Chris has an associate's degree on computer assisted something.
God, there's just so many points. Okay, back to the Liquid Chris. So like everything that Chris Chan was not, Liquid Chris was. And so eventually what ended up happening, I forget how the saga ends. They're called like sagas and arcs.
The girlfriend, the quote unquote girlfriend that Chris had at the time, which was in on the Liquid Chris joke, couldn't decide who was real. So for her to decide who was real, Chris had to. They had a talent show, but it kept escalating. So it was Chris speaking shitty Spanish, and then Liquid Chris speaking like 5 different languages perfectly. Like Chris playing guitar in Guitar Hero, Liquid Chris playing the actual guitar.
Yep.
So it escalated to a quote unquote talent show.
Yep.
Where they got a bunch of people, that most of them were in on the joke to be the judges, and they each had to perform one song. And Chris like sings and performs with the Guitar Hero controller in a very Christian way.
Yep.
And it's all right. And then Liquid Chris just pulls out this like actually great performance.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's very funny. But like,
and then he wins and he disappears, and he in the lore, him and I think it's Jenny,
I don't know,
get married or whatever,
like,
or something.
Yeah. So then I think after this, which is like would have been the best place for Chris to just walk away, Chris uploaded a video that it's like insinuated that the whole Chris Chan persona was a joke and they were a normal person. And if that was the last video that like Chris Chan ever uploaded, I think to this day people would still be debating, was it a bit or not? Like if that was the last video and then they just like stopped uploading, like and walked away from it all, it would have been the greatest. It would have been like the greatest. Like, was this real or not on the internet? But no, they liked the attention, and so they continued posting.
Do you remember when Chris was a talk point on Fox News?
Yep.
Because they were interviewing people about gender, like back in 2016. Well, you know 2016 when all that shit was going on. So they were at like a rally, and Chris is there, and they were asking about gender, and then Chris just starts saying Chris shit, and yeah.
As someone who is a little fruity, like there's a really good ContraPoints video on this where it's like we can't point and be like, look at the bad transgender, but oh my god, they make it hard sometimes. Oh my god, they make it hard sometimes. Because it's just like it's like when Fox News goes out and they're looking to dunk on queer people. I don't want to say they're looking for people like Chris, but they're not
They
looking
are.
for
They
people
are.
like Chris.
They are.
Like they look for people like with the whole like you know the whole like r/anti-work stuff.
Yeah.
They found like the worst fucking moderator they could to make the entire thing look like bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was moving towards a general strike, which is honestly what the United States needs. We can talk about that another time. But like it was moving towards that, and then they found someone on the mod team for it, and it's like, one, they found a Reddit mod. God fucking damn it. Two, they found the Reddit mod who was like, I don't really want to work ever. I just want to do blah blah blah. They found like the worst fucking person that they could have talked to. And that's what they're looking for. That's always what they're looking for. And that's what they did with Chris. And they like are able to be like, those people. Hold on, let me get my Tucker Carlson going. The woke left wants you to have sexual relations with your mother. Just like this person we found conspicuously on the streets of Virginia.
You went to your Jordan Peterson.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. The woke left wants you to have sexual relations with
There you go.
The woke left wants you to have sexual relations with your mother. President Trump would never do that. If you want
so
proof,
funny.
If you want proof, wake up, sheeple. They're outside. We're out in
It's
Virginia
so fucking
today.
Funny, because like they're not only like the thing is that they are sadly the most visible people for this kind of stuff. So like I'm pretty sure that on CSU campus there's a bunch of just like well-adjusted people, right?
Yeah, no, there are. I know a bunch of them.
But then I'm just walking to class and I smell this foul stench, and when I turn around, is this person with the messiest like matted hair I've ever seen, with the like funkiest outfit I've ever seen, just running around, just like a band kid with a trans flag wrapped around their neck.
It's always so hard to talk about this stuff because it's like, again, like as I don't want to be like, oh, I'm like blah, blah, blah. Like again, like as someone who shares some of those identities, like it's always hard for me to deal with those because like there is a very high like intersection between like autism and being transgender, especially in trans women. And you know that in itself is going to lead to like, I don't want to say like being terminally online, but like those people are terminally online. And it's just always hard to talk about that because it's like, I want those people to be respected, you know, like I want those people to be seen for who they are and respected. But like, there's a line where it's like, you're just being annoying. There's a line where you're being annoying and I want to support you, but like you're making it hard for other people. Like I'm trying to find the words to say this. Like you're making it hard for other people, you know?
You make it hard for outsiders to sympathize with your cause.
Yeah, you make it hard for, because you're the most visible one. You know, when you do that stuff, you're the most visible person. And like you're not putting like the best foot forward.
It's like when you have a friend group that's like, you know, kind of dumb, kind of weird, and then you have to you meet someone new. And you have to like slowly introduce the friend group.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Because if you introduce the friend group like as a whole, the new person's gonna get scared away. They're gonna get it's called culture shock.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But we're gonna get canceled for this episode.
So let's end it on this note. Victor and I support trans rights. Momscast said trans rights. Momscast says trans rights. Momscast will always say trans rights. It's just being a part of those identities does not make you immune to being annoying as a person. And I hope that makes sense. All right, time for the mid-roll. In the year 3000.
Hey, dude, I think I found something.
What did you find, Victron 444?
I think this is an ancient device called the USB.
Interesting, Victron 444. Victron 444, what's this port on the side of your body? It looks like it fits the USB.
Yeah, I've figured to fit all kind of ancient technology.
Interesting. Let's plug it in, see what happens. Time to change the bio off of Gone Fishing to,
We're back.
Victron 444, do you see this?
Oh, I can hear it. I cannot see onto my stomach, but I can hear it.
Interesting, Victron 444. I believe we found lost media.
Lost media?
Wait, what's this they're saying now? Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Momscast.
What's a Twitter?
And what's this? Spotify and other podcast platforms. Mom said it's my turn on the podcast. To the library, Victron!
Let's go.
Okay, and we're back.
Alright, we're back. Momscast said trans rights.
That conversation got heavy real quick.
Sorry, let me play some Looney Tunes sound effects. It'll be funny.
Again, I don't know if I already talked about this or if it was a private conversation with you where it was like, the universe is getting lazy.
We talked
with
about
the
this last
generation.
week. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, it keeps happening, and now it's even worse. I saw 10 Volkswagen Beetles today.
10. Jesus.
10.
That's something.
You know what I'm really excited for?
What?
You know what? I cannot bring this up because we cannot circle back to the trans rights conversation. I was gonna talk about Hogwarts Legacy.
See, Momscast's official stance on Hogwarts Legacy is that if you play it, you're a bad person. That's our stance on it. I don't give a fuck about the developers. I don't give a fuck about you wanting to play this fucking video game. If you play this game and you knowingly spend money on it, you're a bad person.
Pirate it.
No. Our official stance on Hogwarts Legacy, pirate the game. If you really want to play it that bad, for every single report I've seen, the game is mid. I have never seen people get this up in arms about a mid video game.
The thing is that, so this has been a big TikTok thing where we all want to be menaces at Hogwarts.
Just pirate it. Just fucking pirate it.
Yeah, I know. But like, there's just this thing about going, oh look, just like terrorizing the whole school.
I don't know. It just doesn't look that fun either. I don't know. This is like me having my weird Harry Potter take, which was, if you're above the age of 20, if you're above the age of like 20 and you're still like obsessed with Harry Potter, I consider that weirdo behavior. Like if I were
Harry Potter, I don't get the obsession, but I'm not gonna deny that to an extent Harry Potter is like good enough media.
I think it's fine, children's media, but again, like when you're above the age of 20, if I was dating, like if I was like looking for a partner and they were like, I like Harry Potter.
Potterhead?
Yeah, like if they were like, I'm a Potterhead, I'm like a Slytherin, like I'm like a Ravenclaw,
Potterheads are
and they had like the
terrible.
robe and they had like some merch, I would consider that a red flag. I consider that a bigger red flag more than I consider like being super into astrology a red flag, to be quite honest with you.
Book girls are a red flag.
Disagree.
I'm sorry.
Disagree.
I'm sorry. The book girl to YN Harry Potter Marauders fanfic, pipeline is big. It's big. Because do you know why book girls are a red flag?
Why?
Because you're never gonna meet the expectations of Christian Grey or Regulus Black from AO3 or whichever like made up fan fiction character.
Yeah.
Like you can't compete.
Dude, people who carry society are the people who post 40,000 word AO3 fics. Like those people carry. I have more respect for those people than I do for US Marines.
There's like actual fics of like everything. I found out of like a super long like 100+ chapters long fanfic about two F1 drivers from the 2010s.
Interesting. If we ever get to the point where we have Momscast fan fiction, don't let us know. I don't want to know. I choose to live in blissful ignorance, you know? I just hope we can cultivate an audience that is like able to not bully, but let those people know that they're being weird. You know?
Yes.
It's like it's like that thing where it's like tolerant societies cannot tolerate intolerance. can't tolerate weirdo behavior. I can tolerate some weirdo behavior. I draw the line at
I
AO3.
can tolerate
I draw the line at
ironic
AO3
weirdo behavior. I can tolerate ironic weirdo behavior. Do it for the ha-has. Make a really bad Momscast fanfic.
Make Brandon X Masato fiction. Make that.
But do it for the bit.
Do it for the bit. Don't like do this like unironically as a passion project. Please do something else. If you're going to make Momscast fanfiction unironically, just change the names and actually publish it.
Yeah.
Like actually, like please, I beg of you. I beg of you. Because it's like when I think of like weirdo like fan behavior that got way out of control, I think of like the Minecraft YouTube people. Like new wave. Like Dream, like Dream, Tommy in it. I don't know the other ones because I have a life.
But there's a whole, it's like a generational torch to that. Because like back in the good old days, we had Hitalia girls. And so they passed the torch to the Black Butler girls. And they passed the torch to the Voltron girls.
That's true.
And
that's true.
They were hanging out with the newly reformed Dan and Phil girls. And
that's true.
They're now passing the torch
to the Minecraft YouTuber girl.
Dream SMP girls.
That's the word I was looking for. Dream SMP, not Minecraft YouTube. But like those audiences, when like you have like Dream and George fan art, that's on like you have talent and you chose to use it on this. You know, like why?
They also like they're
like why?
They're not doing any favors to themselves because you know that they now live together in Florida.
I don't know. Dream is like, you cannot tell me that Dream's not a Republican. Dream voted for Donald Trump.
He totally is.
Dream voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Like, you can't tell me otherwise.
The funniest thing to me about these girls is that they transcend culture.
Yes, correct.
So me as a bilingual person, I have the like experience that few people have, which is enjoying like both sides of YouTube. Because Spanish side of YouTube was also really big, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like there was PewDiePie and then there was Germán Garmendia, right?
Okay.
But then there's the Spaniard YouTubers. There's this guy called Vegeta777. Yeah, Vegeta as in Dragon Ball Vegeta.
Okay.
And then Willy Rex.
Okay.
These guys walked so that George and Dream could run. Like they paved the way for that.
You know who else walked so that George and Dream could run?
My mom!
Markiplier and Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Fix walked so that Dream and George Fix could run. But like the run that they're doing is not like, it's not like normal running. It's more like, yeah, have you ever watched Devilman?
Yeah.
It's more like that kind of run where like you're scared of it running towards you.
Were you run by the edit of Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye being the Powerpuff Girls?
No, I don't think I was.
It's because it was this one video that they made together where like Felix didn't have his hair dyed.
Well, yeah, he had the blue bro fist as his profile picture for the
but
longest
he
time.
had the blue. Yeah,
and he was blonde, so he's Bubbles.
Yeah, there's Jack with his green hair
and the green eyeball logo. He's Buttercup.
Yeah, and then there was Mark with the red hair
and the mustache.
Yeah. Like, and so
and he wears the red flannel a lot too.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like a Markiplier staple. The red flannel.
Mark was Blossoms, Jack was Buttercup, and Felix was Bubbles.
God. Like all that stuff is so funny to me looking back on it, because it's like when you think about it now, like those three have such different audiences. Like any convergence that those groups had at one point in time is completely gone. And I don't want to talk about, because we talked about this last week. We talked about PewDiePie last week. But like, you know, PewDiePie has the people that watch PewDiePie, and then Markiplier and Jacksepticeye still have those like wholesome 100 Reddit moment audiences.
No, it's not even, because like I think Jack took all the gamers, and then Mark took all the girls.
That's true. No, yeah, because Unis Honest, yeah. Unis Anus.
like PewDiePie took that gamers. Jack took the gamers.
PewDiePie took the gamers. Jacksepticeye took the gamers. And
Mark took the
Markiplier,
girls.
yeah. It's just so interesting to me because it's like I don't think the three of them interact. I can't see the three of them interacting. I think Jacksepticeye still interacts with PewDiePie sometimes. I'm not sure though.
Well, he also lied to him.
What?
You know how Jacksepticeye got popular?
No.
It was this whole thing that PewDiePie did. So basically, he shouted him out or something, or did a collab when he was really, really small.
Yeah.
That just boom.
I'll be honest. Out of the three of them, I don't really like it. None of it's my type of content, you know.
Anymore.
None of
I
it's...
like some of the more quote unquote mature PewDiePie stuff.
Yeah. When he's not having gamer moments.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But you remember back in the day where he would just review some philosophy books and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I remember that. I liked when I really liked the Unis Honest stuff. I thought that was really good.
But whenever a new FNAF game drops, you know damn well where I'm going.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Where else would you fucking go? What else are you doing?
There's just if I were to write if I were to get an anthropology degree, I would write my PhD paper on
AO3.
On 2015 to 2017 YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. I would see that, yeah. Well, do you think
it's such a good case study?
Do you think there's going to be internet history courses in the next 20 to 30 years?
Yes.
In colleges?
Definitely. I loved in early internet historian because it was actual it felt like taking an internet history course, kind of.
Yeah, I think a lot of it. The problem with a lot of that early internet stuff is it's just racist now.
Yeah,
it's just racist.
Yeah. The pool's closed.
Pool's closed. I mean, that's internet history, but
Well, he also did one-off episode that he called a footnote in internet history about planking.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where we can look at it. I think you have to look at you'd have to look at more the broad culture. Because again, 2016, 2015 to 2017 was such a massive shift in the culture. TM was such a huge shift in the culture.
It's this is like in Red Dead Redemption when the train's introduced.
Yeah.
The whole point of Red Dead is that the Wild West, it's becoming not as wild.
Yeah.
And that was the point. 2015, 2017, that was what happened in the internet.
Yeah, no, 2016 was just such a shift because it's when you think about 2015 to 2017 feels such a different point in time than 2018 to 2020.
All had to do with that damn child.
It all had to do with that damn gorilla. It all had to do with that damn gorilla.
It all started with the damn gorilla.
Well, dude, I did we did time capsule when I was in 8th grade in 2016, and so we did time capsules that you were opened before you graduated high school. So I was going to open mine in 2020. And so, I went and picked it up during COVID. I went and got my time capsule. I opened it up on my YouTube channel, actually. And oh my God, the fucking culture shock. The fucking culture shock and just dumb fucking 13-year-old me. Oh my God. Okay, question for you. If you're given the opportunity to go back in time and beat the shit out of a past version of yourself, do you beat the shit out of 13-year-old you, 15-year-old you, or 14-year-old you?
14-year-old me. How about you?
I think also 14-year-old me, because that was when I was a freshman in high school. I think I would fucking kill that guy.
Yeah.
I think I would kill that guy.
This is the thing. If I were to design a university course for a degree on internet history, it would be this is the class I would give.
Yeah.
It would be first it's early internet, which would cover the internet up until 2010. Because there's not a lot going on. And that's when you start to see the first internet personalities pop up. You know what I mean? YouTube's barely starting. Then you go to internet 2010 internet 2010 2015, the rise of the influencer.
Yeah.
2015 to 2017, it's just one period. It's just one period, and it's called the death of the gorilla and its ramifications.
Yeah.
And then the last class you would have to take is postmodern internet, and that would conclude your minor in internet history.
Yeah, it's just so fucking strange to me because again, like even 2016, I feel like you could break that up.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
It's like 2016, like everything's like all shits and giggles. You have that, oh shit, here come that boy, what up, and then the gorilla dies, and then and then Closer by the Chainsmokers is the song of the summer, and then dabbing is a thing. Like early 2016, mid 2016, and late 2016 all feel like different eras.
Yeah. It all has to do with that damn gorilla.
It all has to do with that damn gorilla. No, I unironically think that the like, I know everybody's like, oh, it's the fucking gorilla. Like, no, it was though. That gorilla did something. That gorilla was like the glue holding the fucking reality together, dude.
Yeah, it's like actually, like, I don't know what happened, but like that gorilla just changed internet culture as a whole.
I think it was that, and then the 2016 elections, and that was when everybody just kind of realized, oh, we're fucked. Like that. I think it was that. I mean, you were in Panama in 2016, but I feel like that still had enough reach.
That election was a worldwide thing.
Yeah, like I feel like that election was when people just kind of realized oh, we're fucked, and that kind of set the tone for the next 4 years.
You had the two worst people that you could imagine just going against each other.
Pokemon go to the polls. Oh no, that happened in 2016 too.
Yeah,
that was shit. Yeah. Like, that year was such a year for the culture. I will tell my children about that year.
It was. Everything went that. Again, I don't want to sound repetitive, but, that gorilla did something.
I think it was Harambe getting shot into the 2016 election that, people were just like, the world is cruel and unforgiving.
I have a really weird theory.
Huh?
Through some weird extent, Harambe dying made 4chan more visible to Tumblr. And that's where it all started.
I disagree because at that point, at least, iFunny was still an alternative to 4chan and Tumblr. In 2016, when the gorilla got shot.
Yes, but the people that
well, you also have to keep in mind those two groups hated each other.
Yeah. This
those
was
two
brewing.
Groups. Yeah,
that conflict was brewing, and Dicks Out for Harambe was
that was the floodgate. That was the floodgate.
Yeah.
God, it was just you just had
so
to be there.
So much shit happened that year. Wasn't that also the year that Me Too blew up?
So Victor just got snatched away by the Green Goblin. So it's just me. This is a pretty good episode. We talked about the usual. We talked a little bit about Chris Chan. We talked about how 2016 was a year for the culture, and we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff. Momscast said trans rights, baby. I'm gonna wrap it up here, I think, because somebody's got to go call Spider-Man because Victor got eaten by the goblin. So let me just end the episode and then.